We had a whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want to let y'all know one thing. This is my house. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, back again, the Biblio Geek. It's me. I know it's been a while. It's been a minute. I had promised you a third session, and here it is. But you know, sometimes you just gotta take some time for some self-care. And, I was doing that. I was doing self-care, and I had a milestone birthday.
Hooray! Yay!
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyway, as promised, today is the third session or third episode of the Biblio Geek's Lupus series. And today we're going to talk about prescriptions. Specifically, what prescriptions are commonly used for treating lupus. And we'll talk about the different prescriptions and how they work, what their side effects are, what are precautions you need to take. And not just that, we're going to talk about some other kind of things that you can do to help ease some of the symptoms of lupus. And I'll share some of the things that worked best for me. So you ready? Let's get into it. There are several classifications of medications that are used to treat lupus. The first group is called corticosteroids. A lot of people think that the steroids that they use to treat lupus are the same steroids that athletes take, and that's not true. A lot of people get corticosteroids confused with anabolic steroids. Anabolic steroids are used for athletes. Corticosteroids help decrease inflammation. They help to treat swelling, tenderness in the joints, pain, those kinds of things. They help suppress the immune system. So if you have an overactive immune system like you do when you have lupus, these corticosteroids help to kind of quiet that so that some of the symptoms that come along with an overactive immune system, like inflammation, which is the top one, are not as severe. The most common corticosteroid used, prednisone. Prednisone is used for a wide variety of different ailments. Usually when doctors prescribe prednisone, they prescribe it at the lowest dose possible. The higher the dose, the more prevalent the side effects. So, what are the side effects? They are bruising easily, acne, weight gain, the round or moon-shaped face, fluid retention in the face and the stomach, insomnia, depression, agitation, mood swings, changes in personality, increased risk of infection, osteoporosis, muscle weakness, even cataracts. Usually, most doctors will put you on prednisone for a short period of time. They'll step you up and then step you right back down. That was not the case for me. I was on prednisone for a long period of time. Right now, I'm on a really low dose of it. I'm only on 5 milligrams right now, but when I first started, I was on 60 milligrams of prednisone a day. 60. And I had all of the symptoms. I had sleep disturbances, anywhere from not being able to sleep at all to having really, really vivid, horrible, terribly violent nightmares that kept me up and made me afraid to go to sleep. I also had extreme irritation and agitation, sometimes just flat out anger, mood swings. I had acne. I had a really bad acne breakout on my forehead. I had extreme weight gain. And I wish I could find, I don't know if I have any pictures. I'm sure I have some pictures somewhere of the weight gain I had and the round face. And I was unrecognizable. I was. I know that a couple of people that I ran into that I hadn't seen in a while, when they saw me, they were like, "Girl, what is going on with you?" And it was the medication. It was the prednisone, right? So those are some of the things to look out for if you are ever taking prednisone. And those of you who are taking prednisone, holler at me in the comments. Let me know what kinds of side effects you may be experiencing, if at all. The next group of drugs are the antimalarials. This drug is usually used in conjunction with the corticosteroids to help decrease the activity of the immune system. Antimalarials also help protect against sun damage. One of the things about people who have lupus is that we're supposed to have as little sun exposure as possible. And there are two most commonly prescribed antimalarials. There's Plaquenil and Avalyn. Currently, I am taking Plaquenil. I've been taking Plaquenil pretty much since the beginning. Some of the symptoms of Plaquenil are upset stomach, damage to the retina, or what's called retinal toxicity. If you are on Plaquenil, you need to have, especially if you're on it for long term, you need to have annual eye exams. And you need to go, and specifically, it's not just the regular eye exam that you get when you're going to get glasses or contacts. This is a different type of eye exam. You have to go in and request specifically for a Plaquenil check. That's what I say. Once I tell my eye doctor Plaquenil check, he's like, got you. And he knows exactly what to look for. So usually what they're looking at is the back of your eye, and they're looking for any kind of changes in the landscape of your eye. There may be spots or distorted spots in your vision that they're looking for, or dark spots, things like that. The next group is the immunosuppressives. The immunosuppressive group does exactly that. It helps to control your immune system and suppresses your overactive immune system. The most commonly prescribed immunosuppressives are Cytoxan, Rumitrex, and Imuran. These drugs are primarily administered intravenously. The thing to look out for with these drugs is that because they're suppressing your immune system, they decrease your ability to fight off infection. So if you get any kind of scratch or wound or injury, you need to monitor it carefully and talk to your doctor immediately. These drugs can also cause other symptoms like nausea, mouth sores, and even pancreatitis. So when you're on this kind of medication, usually you have to go in and be under a doctor's care while it's administered so that they can kind of make sure that you're not having any of these side effects. And you will be closely monitored during the duration. The next group, these are the anticoagulants. These drugs keep you from developing blood clots. Coumadin is the most commonly prescribed because some people who have lupus do develop blood clot. I met a young lady years ago who had lupus. She was a lot younger than I was too at the time. And she lost some of her toes because of several blood clots she had because of lupus. Next group, monoclonal antibodies. And this is a medication that was developed in a lab that is engineered to mimic or enhance the immune system's ability to fight. This is also used in cancer treatment. Most recently, it was used in treatment for COVID-19. Benlysta is a human monoclonal antibody developed in a lab, and it's the first and only drug that was developed specifically for lupus patients. So those are the main groups of medications that are used to treat lupus. I haven't been on any of the immunosuppressive medications for quite some time. I think I was taking Imuran in the beginning and then was taken off of it and have not been on it since. And I have not ever taken Benlysta, but I have had several people who live with lupus who say Benlysta works very well for them. And they've had minimal side effects. Now, of course, everybody is different. Everybody has different reactions to different medications. So if you are ever prescribed any of these medications, make sure that you talk to your doctor. Make sure that you read up on these medications and you're familiar with the side effects and you're familiar with how they work, and talk to other people who have lupus. If you don't know anyone who is living with lupus, you could talk to someone at the local chapter of your Lupus Foundation, or you can call the national office of the Lupus Foundation and talk to someone there about the medications. And they're more than happy to help you and to talk with you about your treatment and to offer suggestions and to put you in contact with other people who are also taking those medications. And try, whenever you get a chance, try to go to a support group with other lupus patients. And it's good to meet other people who know your struggle and are able to kind of share their story with you. Okay? Now, when it comes to other treatments and other things, I will share with you what has worked for me. Now, I am not a doctor. I have no medical training whatsoever. So I am merely sharing with you what are the things that worked for me. So to be honest, I think one of the most effective things for me to help ease the symptoms of lupus is massage therapy. I love massage therapy. I try to go as often as I can. At one point, I was going every 2 weeks when I was in a really bad stretch where my arthritis was acting really, 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 really bad. And I was in the middle of a weird stretch where I had severe muscle weakness and muscle pain in addition to the joint pain, and I was just in really bad shape. And massage therapy helped me relax. It helped me sleep better. It helped alleviate some of the pain and the stiffness that comes with the rheumatoid arthritis and the muscle pain and weakness. So that was very helpful. I've done chiropractic therapy as well, which helped with the range of motion, because what usually happens with me, I can't speak for anybody else, but what usually happens with me is when I'm in pain, I tend to do this, right? Like shorten my neck and hunch my shoulders up and then just hold that. And sometimes, I'm not even realizing that I'm doing it. Clenching my jaw sometimes and not even realizing that I'm doing it. And what that usually does is it throws off everything else in my body. So sometimes I end up like favoring a side, favoring a leg when I'm walking, favoring, a shoulder. And sometimes, and for a while I was carrying a book bag, which was not helping at all. And I was favoring one side with the book bag. So my whole posture was just off. I remember once I went in to see Dr. Jan Jensen, who I mentioned in an earlier video, and it must have been really bad because I think at this time I was in the master's program. And I was lugging around a whole lot of books all the time. And I went in to see her and she took one look at me. She said, "What have you done?" Because she had been working with me and I guess I had just messed up all my alignment and everything. So she was like, "We got to start this all over from the beginning." She was pretty tight with me that day. But anyway, so that has helped also with, because I had an injury several years ago. Child, I fell down a whole flight of stairs. Listen, it was a mess, okay? It was a whole mess. And I thought I was fine, but what ended up happening was because of the injury to my knee, I favored my other leg. So as a result of me favoring my other leg when I was walking, I threw my hip out of joint, my back, my shoulders, my neck, everything. I was just a mess. So for a while, she was working with me on getting me back to alignment and things like that. And so in addition to that, I had done some acupuncture. Now, the acupuncture I was using more so for pain management than anything else. And that wasn't just pain related to lupus. I also suffer from migraines. So a lot of that, and really the irony of it is some of the migraines were a result of my alignment being off. So I was just all messed up. So I was going in for treatment for migraines, and that seemed to help. But the thing that about acupuncture and massage therapy is you have to keep going. Usually, people say it doesn't work because they go after your injury or they go after a symptom has presented itself and they try to use it as a treatment. You keep going, you use massage therapy to keep you loose and limber and pain-free so that if something were to present itself, it's not quite as bad. I'm just going to be honest with you. Prayer and meditation helped me so much. It still does. It still does. There's something about sitting quietly, and this is going to kind of be a segue into the next thing, which is rest, which is so vital for people with lupus. Meditation is a form of rest and regeneration and renewal. Just the act of sitting quietly and just kind of breathing, practicing your breathing, and not even just practicing, but paying attention to your breathing. Because I notice now when I am in pain, I tend to either hold my breath or breathe shallow, right? Which leads to other issues. So it's important to pay attention to your breath, which is what I do now, meditation. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am not as consistent with it as I should be. But when I'm consistent with my meditation, when I make time every day to get some meditation in, it does wonders for me. Now, that also leads me to rest. Rest is so important, you guys. You have to get rest when you have lupus. For me, I can always tell when I'm not getting enough rest, when I'm not getting enough sleep, because my body, I have pain from my jawline to my ankles. I mean, systemic pain, and nothing can help it. No over-the-counter drugs, nothing will help it. No hot bath, no Epsom salt, no nothing. Not even massage will help. If I'm not getting enough sleep, my body tells me almost immediately. And so, as a result of me trying to get more sleep, or at least making sure that I'm getting enough sleep, I have learned the art of saying, babies, let me tell you something. No is a ministry. It saves lives. It saved my life. It saved several other people's lives too. Because you can't, lupus will make you realize that that frantic pace that you've been keeping up every day, all day, is not sustainable. It's not normal. It's not healthy. Okay? So with lupus, you have to really, really be in tune with your body. And, you know, after a while, you will be. After a while, if you've had lupus for a while, you start to know what are your triggers. You start to know what are the signs that your body is getting ready to slow down on you. Because you don't really want to get to the point where you're so tired that you get sick. Because that's the next step, really. If you don't get your rest, your body will stop for you. It's not pretty. It's not pretty when it happens. You know, when it happened to me, I was hospitalized as a result. All my numbers were off. Everything was bad, you know, and I didn't want to be in that place again. So for me, usually if I feel like an attack is coming, like I haven't had a lot of sleep, I've been under an incredible amount of stress, I start to feel, it starts in my back actually, like back pain, and it radiates out. So once it starts in my back and starts to radiate out, I'm like, okay, all those plans I had over the weekend, something got to go. I can't do all of it. I can't do all of that. And really, you know, this is where you'll find out who really understands what you're living with and who doesn't, right? Because I've been really blessed. I've been really, really fortunate to have family and friends around me who understand when I tell them I can't make it, you know. And usually, you know, it's especially recently, you know, when the pandemic hit and there was nowhere to go and I had to stay at home, I just thought, this is pretty much what it's been. You know, of course, I go out and hang out with friends and things like that, and I miss them over the pandemic because it was rough. It was rough not being able to see my friends and to hug my family and things like that. But it was an opportunity for me to really pay more attention to my own body and how I was handling stress, because 2020 was a stressful year. And when you have an autoimmune disease, a lot of autoimmune diseases are triggered by stress, a combination of stress and very little rest. So you have to really be mindful of what are those things that are in your life that cause you stress that are unnecessary. Everybody's going to have stress. You can't live a completely stress-free life, right? That's not realistic. Don't go home and kick all of your kids out and say, the Biblio Geek said that I can't be stressed because I got lupus. Don't do that. Bring the kids back in the house. Don't do that. Learn to tell people no. Learn to tell people no. If it's something that it's too much for you, it's going to be too much for you, just tell them no. Most people will understand. Most people will understand. And the people that don't, my mantra, and I know sometimes people think that's not funny, but my mantra is I got lupus. I'll tell somebody in a minute. I ain't doing that. I got lupus. Help you move? You want me to help you move? I got lupus. You need me to watch your kids? I don't babysit. I got lupus. Oh, you want me to work another shift on top of the one I just finished? You want me to stay? Is that what you're saying? You want me to stay late? I got lupus. Honey, let me tell you something. I have perfected the art of telling folks no. It took me a long time now. It wasn't easy. It took me a long time, but I like to think I'm pretty good at it now after all the practice I've gotten. And those people who are in your life that understand that, keep them around. Keep them around. That's rare, because a lot of people, we're in a society where it's valued to, hey, where being stressed out and working till you drop and hustling and grinding and all that stuff is valued. And when you have an autoimmune disease, that hustle and grind mentality and the you sleep and I grind stuff, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's bad for you. It's bad for you. You sleep, I grind will put you in the hospital. Yeah. So you have to be careful with that kind of thing. And I mean, we got to work. You got to do something. And I understand that. But at some point, you got to take some time for yourself. You got to take some time for your body to rest. It's essential. I also find that yoga has helped. Yoga has helped me tremendously, especially with the joint pain and the joint stiffness. Yoga has kind of helped me stay flexible, and it also really, because the flexibility also kind of helps you keep you from having a lot of injuries as well. So yoga was very, very helpful. It's also very relaxing. Sometimes when you're trying to hold that pose and you get to shaking, that's not relaxing just then, but afterwards, oh yeah, it's wonderful. Now, it's also important too to have some kind of exercise regimen. And I'm not talking about going hard in the paint. I'm not talking about, severe weightlifting and boot camp and all that kind of stuff, because people with lupus and things like that, that's not good for you. That's a lot of high impact on your joints. You really want to stay away from things like running and anything that has a lot of high impact where you're jumping around a lot and you're causing a lot of extra stress on your joints. So things like swimming and yoga, for example, maybe low impact aerobics. Try to stay away from like severe heavy weightlifting, maybe some light weightlifting, but you need to talk to your doctor first before you do any of this stuff. I know for me, right now I'm doing a lot of cycling. I purchased a Peloton bike for my birthday, so I've been using that. I did do some light aerobics for a while, and yoga, of course, and walking. For a couple of years, I was walking about 5 miles a day. And not only did it take the weight down, but I just felt a lot better, and it helped with my heart and my blood pressure. It kept my blood pressure regulated, and my lupus numbers actually got a whole lot better. So walking was very good. It's not hard on the joints, as long as you're wearing the right shoes, because I was walking outside, so I was wearing the correct shoes and things like that. So talk to your doctor before you start any kind of exercise regimen to make sure that this is the right one for you. So this one was a short video. I know that I wanted to just kind of check in with you, but I just wanted to focus on some of the things that I was doing. Also, the world is opening back up now. If you're like me, you miss being social. You miss your friends. You miss your family. It's important to incorporate time with your loved ones. That is a major part of overall health, is that you have time to spend with people that you love and people who love you, and to sit around and fellowship with everybody and eat good food and laugh and watch your favorite movies together and do all those things. And so now that, I'm able to kind of hang out with my family and friends again, it just feels so good to see everybody, because it's been over a year, and that was really tough. And I know you know what I'm talking about, because it was not easy. We're a social animal. We need to be around each other. We need each other, right? So make sure that you take some time and you incorporate some time in your schedule to see your friends, to hang out with your family, and to just be around the people that you dig, who dig you. You dig? That's all I have today, y'all, and I hope you all are doing well. I hope that you are healthy and you're happy, and you have an opportunity to be around your people and to do the things you love. If you are living with lupus and you are on any of these medications that we talked about today, hit me with a comment below. And if what are some of the things you're doing in your life to help alleviate some of the stress and alleviate some of the pain and discomfort that lupus sometimes brings? Let me know. Holla at me. It's good that we share with each other our best practices and the ways that we kind of help ourselves to feel better. So thanks you guys for joining me. I love y'all, and I'll be back with another video, and I will see you soon. All right?